If you know me, you know that I love coffee. Not all cups of coffee are created equal, and any connoisseur will tell you that the island of Hawaii grows some of the best coffee in all of the world. I'm talking about 100% Kona coffee, and no one does it better than the Kona Coffee Tea Company. I'm meeting with Malia Bolton on her family plantation. Her father founded Kona Coffee and Tea 10 years ago, and if you think that's cool, just wait until you see how I'm getting there. Over here, huh?
Okay, so
Look
you
at
see
that.
all those cherries right here?
Wow.
And this is a coffee fruit.
Contrary to popular belief, coffee doesn't come from a bean. It's actually the fruit of the coffee tree, and it's referred to as the cherry. Most cherries contain 2 seeds, and yes, they're commonly referred to as beans.
Then there's 2 beans per cherry.
Yeah.
If it's 1, it's a pea berry.
In my mind, I figured the next step would be for Malia to show me the really cool piece of equipment that picks all the cherries from the tree and makes farming coffee a breeze. Well, I thought wrong.
And one by one, these things are picked by hand.
So this year we picked 600,000 pounds of raw berries. It takes 10 pounds of cherry to get to 1 pound of roasted.
Wow.
So it is a lot of work.
10 pounds of cherry equals 1 pound of coffee, so if I drink at least 2 cups a day, that means a pound a month, and carry the 1 and divide by 4 and take the square root. Yeah, basically a whole bunch of people have to do a ton of work so that I can be a functioning human being in the morning.
That makes me feel great. Nick, your habit is basically supported by an entire farm
Yes.
full. Yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
Once all the cherries are picked, they're taken to the mill where they're sorted into different grades. Names like Kona Extra Fancy, Kona Fancy, Kona Number 1, Kona Prime, Peaberry Number 1, and Peaberry Prime, which all make you go Kona Number 2 after you've had a few cups. Once the beans are separated, then they're all placed in large bags and are ready to be roasted.
We got to stamp as Kona Prime, so go ahead and just stamp right at the bottom. Oh, that's a messy one.
That's a messy one, no good? Apparently I'm an awful stamper. Okay, let's try it. Better?
Yep.
All right.
And we're gonna sew this bad boy up.
That's fantastic. That's like
That's
the funnest toy of all time.
Obviously, I have to try that thing out for myself.
Just
Did
like
I do it?
that.
Oh no, stop.
Oh, good. Okay, right there. There we go.
There, we just have only an extra foot. No big deal. Why is it that every time I try to do anything, I screw it up? I mean, look at this.
It takes a while.
I failed at stamping and sewing, so it's time to see what the next step of the process is so I can most likely suck at that too.
Go roast some coffee.
Fantastic.
This is the part of the process that turns the picked fruit into the delicious coffee beans that we all know and love. And the great Oz behind this process is Lonnie. She's a master roaster that knows how to make some damn good coffee. It's a skill that she's been honing for over 14 years.
This is your office here.
Yes. She's the master roaster, the master chef.
Once the beans go into the roaster, it's all about Lonnie's intuition and senses. Coffee roasting is an art, and she listens for cracks that signify where the beans are in the roasting process. When she thinks it's time, she pulls a few beans out and she smells them and tastes them. And she does this until everything's just right.
Tastes like coffee.
She tries her best to explain it all to me and show me the ropes, but when I do it, I just smell coffee. When she does it, some of the best coffee in the world is the result.
Coffee's really gassy, so you want to make sure it degasses first.
Yeah,
So.
everything is better degassed.
Now once the beans are cool and all that gas is gone, it's time for the final step, packaging. And there's no fancy machines here. The roaster scoops the finished beans into a bag by hand. And for whatever reason, there has to be exactly 16.6 ounces of beans in every bag.
A little tiny bit. Bring it over here. Oh my gosh, is that literally 16.6 ounces and it is literally on the dot? That's amazing.
The last step is to give each bag an airtight seal. And once again, they make the mistake of letting me try my hand at it.
Don't burn my fingers.
Whether it's picking, stamping, sewing, roasting, or packaging, or whatever, one should never underestimate my ability to screw stuff up. But with all that considered, I will say this. There is one part of the coffee process that I am better at than just about anybody anywhere, and that is the last step, the best step, coffee drinking.
Finally, we get to try some
We
coffee,
get to taste some. So it's not,
that's so good.
the body is like silky.
If I was gonna ask you a general question, what does it mean to be Hawaiian?
I would say that being Hawaiian is someone that has aloha. So really, truly having that love. I think that that's what kind of embodies what Hawaii is about and what we represent. But there is still Native Hawaiians that you can trace it back to the bloodline, and there is Hawaiians. Being a representative from Hawaii and being Hawaiian, I would say it is that aloha.
Cheers.
Brewed with aloha.
That's right, I love it.